What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna make this very clear. If I had hatred towards black women, I would come on and make unfair comparisons. For example, I would come on and try to shame black women for not coming from two-parent households. Becky has mommy and daddy, and they're there. How come you don't know where your dad is at all? How come your brother and sister have different last names? I don't try to do that. You didn't control that for the most part. You didn't control it at all, right? So how can I really come on and shame you for that? When Becky's parents die, we're going to get a check because Becky's in her parents' will. Why is it that when your parents die, we have to pay money for the funeral, and we have to go through a whole bunch of, we have to incur a whole bunch of financial burdens? That's not fair. But at the end of the day, I can't make that comparison because that wasn't in your control. Okay? So that would be pretty little of me to come on and try to shame you. Okay? Why is it that, Becky's parents can give us $30K for a down payment on a new home, but we have to give your parents money to help out because they have bills that they couldn't handle? Is that a fair comparison? No, because that's out of your hands. That would be pretty low of me. And if I came on and I made those type of comparisons, it would pretty much be easy to identify that I have a hatred towards black women. Now, why is it that black women aren't labeled for having hatred towards black men when they compare white success to black success? The funny thing about it is white success isn't as much a product of white people working hard, but it's more so a product of a system that was created 300, 400 years ago. Okay? Now, I can understand a comparison, let's say, to that of an Indian man who came over here in the maybe late 60s, 70s, or 80s, went to the university, got a good job, got a good career, and, he's just doing well. I can get comparing black men to that, right? Because it was the civil rights movement that opened up the door for these people to come over here and get the student visas and, get in on affirmative action and just kick ass. So I can get that sort of comparison, but you don't really have it, right? How often do you hear black men compared to Asian men or Indian men, and so is to white men? So couldn't I say that some of these women have a level of self-hate, or not even hate, or hatred towards black men? Because that's a bit outlandish. Can I make that claim? Right? But that's never identified. And that's the problem. We don't support black men that come on and spew hatred towards black women. As much as y'all think we do, we don't. Right? But to be honest with you, I would say 95% of what a lot of brothers have to say, is fair in terms of not making outlandish comparisons. You may not like the delivery. Sometimes I don't like the delivery, but it's fair, right? But there's a lot of black women that will sit back and listen to and co-sign and not point out some of the comparisons that black women make, and it's really unfair. And like I said, we're not doing that to you guys. We're not, right? Now, we'll talk about how maybe you should be more aware of what's going on, but we're not comparing. Like, I've come on and I've said I prefer a woman from a two-parent household, and that's not to shame black women, but it's to help them understand what's happening so that they can, open up their eyes to what's going on. I'm never going to turn away a chick for not coming from a two-parent household, but I'm going to at least let her know what she missed out on, right? Because there's some important things that happen to somebody growing up in a two-parent household, right? And we learn through imitation. So me bringing up black women not coming from two-parent household isn't to shame them or to make them feel a certain way. It's almost to let them know what's not happening, right? So, I've gone far enough. I don't want to make this a long video. I just really had to put it out there because, you're still getting the whole, you have a hatred towards black women and what you say is unfair, this, that, and the third, and you guys haven't even seen unfair. Really, you haven't. right? If brothers wanted to get nasty, I don't have to call you a bitch. I don't have to call you a hoe. I don't have to say you're ugly, you know, in terms of how you look, right? If brothers really wanted to get grimy and dirty, we could, right? But we're not we're not taking it to that route because it doesn't do anything other than let me take out my anger and frustration, right, or my hatred, right? But low key, for those who don't know, that's what you guys are doing when you make that comparison to black men and white men, especially even with black men who are successful. You guys think you're making a point, but you're really not, because it makes no sense at all, right? And you're truly covering up a hatred towards black men. So I don't know if anybody's going to tell you that, but it is what it is. Y'all take it easy. God bless.